So this isn't something that should come as a huge surprise, but it's still something that I don't like. I don't like it because we'll talk about why I don't like it after we talk about the announcement itself, but it involves the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS eShops. Now, of course, it's not like there are new games coming out for the Wii U or the 3DS or anything like that, but those systems obviously hold a lot of nostalgia for people, I guess especially the 3DS side of things, because that was the more successful system. But over the past couple of months, we've been seeing kind of the writing on the wall with this. It seemed like there was a big change incoming, that Nintendo was going to be shutting these down. They sort of made it so that you couldn't buy stuff in certain regions via a credit card. You had to have a Nintendo points card in order to buy games, and it seemed like the writing was on the wall with this. Well, Nintendo of America has recently announced that this will be impacting the United States for both the Wii U and the 3DS, and I don't like it. I'm going to go over the information about why this is happening, when to expect it to happen, and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to explain why I don't like this, because I feel like there's a bigger problem that a lot of people aren't going to realize with this situation. So if this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're well on the way to 420K subs. Blaze it, my homies. I don't know, that was lame. But without any further ado, let's jump into this. So late last night, because I'm going to upload this in the morning, Nintendo of America made the big announcement, and there's a little FAQ that they put up about it. So we're just going to go over this, and then I'm going to talk about it. All right, so as you can see here, the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS eShops are being discontinued. As of late March 2023, it will no longer be possible to make purchases in the Nintendo eShop for the Wii U system and the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. It will also no longer be possible to download free content, including game demos. Furthermore, as the date draws near, related services will cease to function. As of May 23rd, 2022, it will no longer be possible to use a credit card to add funds to an account in the Nintendo eShop on Wii U or 3DS. As of August 29th, it will no longer be possible to use a Nintendo eShop card to add funds to an account in the eShop on the Wii U or the 3DS. However, it will still be possible to redeem download codes until late March 2023. So essentially what's happening here is, really come August, you're not going to be able to buy games on the Nintendo Wii U or 3DS eShop, which is crazy because there's still a lot of games that are on those eShops that you can't buy those, you know, anywhere else or anything like that. Nintendo wonders, and we'll get into that in a minute, but you know, this is obviously a very big deal because realistically, although the eShop doesn't really shut down until March of 2023, really everything is shutting down in August of 2022. If you're not able to buy stuff on there, even if you have a Nintendo eShop card, you can only download stuff that you've already downloaded and stuff like that. So I don't like that. We'll obviously talk about the reasons why I don't like that, but that's pretty much what's happening with this situation. Now, there is a bit of an FAQ to sort of clarify some questions that of course will be arising from this. So let's take a look at that. Why is this happening? This is part of the natural life cycle for any product line as it becomes less used by consumers over time. Why are you announcing this now? Blah, blah, blah. Just saying you have a lot of time. Are there any services or functions of the Wii U or 3DS going to be discontinued, such as online play? There are no plans to make further changes at this time. Yeah, right. We all know that that is going to happen. For the foreseeable future, it'll still be possible to re-download games and DLC, receive software updates, and enjoy online play on the Wii U and the 3DS. And then, of course, we have some more stuff here. The cards will last as long as they can, but of course, you won't be able to do anything with them. So you can only re-download content that you own, download existing software updates, but you can't buy anything. You can't download demos, no free to start software, no redeeming a code, no adding funds, and the number of themes as well. So why is this such a big deal? Obviously, a lot of people have moved on from these systems to the Nintendo Switch. You might not even own a 3DS or a Wii U anymore, but I think it tells a very, you know, bleak picture for the future of gaming, and it's something that we've alluded to time and time again. But when you look at how the Nintendo Switch online stuff is set up and you compare it to the Wii U, the 3DS, the Nintendo Wii, it's really apples and oranges. Besides the main point of that you now have to pay in order to play your Nintendo Switch games online, which you never had to do on another Nintendo platform, the games were a completely different thing. Not even talking about Wii U shop exclusives, 3DS eShops exclusives, looking beyond that, because there's a ton of games that, you know, we'll talk about in a future video, games that I recommend checking out before they are removed. But these Wii U, these 3DS, these Wii games that were available on these consoles via the eShop are stuck on there. It's not like something where you can potentially do it, you know, if it's a PS4 title that came out on the PSN, you could download it on your PlayStation 5 and it's no big deal. These games are locked to these systems unless they created a version specifically for the Nintendo Switch. But I think even the bigger thing is the virtual console side of things, because when you look at the virtual console for the Wii U, when you look at the virtual console for the 3DS, when you look at the virtual console for the Wii, it's so much better than what we have now. You have a multitude of systems. You have a multitude of games. These are really the only legal, if you want to play Metroid Zero Mission right now, the only legal way to play it is by playing it on the Wii U. And now this is going away. Nintendo is limiting your options on how to play their games, and they're not adding in these options into the Nintendo Switch, at least anytime soon. So it's like, I don't understand how Nintendo can sit there and be like, oh, you know, we hate these pirates, you know, we're going to take down all these pirate websites, when you're not offering ways to play these games otherwise. And the way that you can play them right now, although a bit archaic, is now being removed because, well, you know, time goes on. What the hell do they say? You know, it's just the nature of the business, you know, things roll on, and it's like, think of how many games now are going to be lost. We already have the whole stuff on the Wii with like the Castlevania and Contra Rebirths. Now we have to start looking at the Wii U library. We have to start looking at the Nintendo 3DS library. Newsflash, okay? The Wii U's eShop really helped keep that system afloat because there was huge droughts where you didn't have any new games coming from Nintendo or, you know, AAA studios. These indies held that system up on a pedestal and put games on there and managed to make money on these games because there was nothing else to play. The virtual console side of things, on the Wii U, it was stacked. You could play DS games on there. You know, there was DS games to play. I can't play DS games on my Nintendo Switch. The 3DS, look at all of the classic games that were available on there. Super Nintendo games, Game Gear games, all of which, you know, most of these games aren't added to the Nintendo Switch Online service. You could simply just buy the game and then experience the game. And now Nintendo is taking away this ability. So it's honestly, you know, like I said, I feel like we all knew this day was coming, but it's still not a good thing. It's still not something that people, you know, should have to deal with because, I mean, let's be real. All this is going to do is encourage people to hack their 3DS and hack their Wii U so that they can play these games again, because a lot of these companies don't re-release the stuff. There's tons of games that are still stuck on the Wii that will never get on modern consoles, more than likely, because these companies have just sort of moved on. And it's going to be the same thing with the Wii U and the 3DS. Some of these eShop hidden gems that are available are now going to be going away. Like, you won't be able to buy these games. You won't be able to play these games. You won't be able to experience these games. The only way you could do it is via emulation and by emulating these games. So, you know, it sucks, man. It sucks. I hate things like this because this is the future of video games where you don't really own anything. It's all contingent on servers and data and, you know, clouds. And it's not like it used to be. And I know a lot of people feel like, you know, it's just old men and old women talking about retro games and like why they like them because that's what they grew up with. But, you know, it's more of the fact that if I buy an N64 and I put in an N64 cartridge, you know, that's it. I can experience the whole N64 library if I buy something like an EverDrive. With something like a 3DS, with something like a Wii U that has a strong digital shop, that has stuff that's not available on these current platforms, that has stuff that's not available on Nintendo's current platform with the Nintendo Switch, it really just, it sucks. Like, how are we just supposed to forget about these games? You know, we make all these lists all the time about games that were left in the arcade and stuff. Oh, these games never came to a console. That sucks, but you can still play those games. These games are going to be a lot harder because unless people are cataloging every single game that came out on the Wii U, every single game that came out on the 3DS, I feel like there's stuff that's, you know, going to fall through the cracks. And really, the 3DS, I mean, shit, you have the whole 3D stuff with that. You're not going to be able to experience that on a computer. Like, I don't know, man. I don't like it. I understand that it's a business. I understand that it's something that ends up happening. But we saw the backlash from stuff like the PS3 and the Vita. And we got an extended life on those, which is great. Because I just bought a Vita. And I was blown away by all the stuff that this system could do. And it's like, well, what if I bought this Vita and they closed down those stores? I would never be able to experience this stuff. Like, all because they're older systems doesn't mean that people still aren't playing these systems. It doesn't mean that there's not people out there who still support these systems and buy games on these systems. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this. I feel like a lot of you will agree with me with this. Like, yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall, but when it's thrown in your face, it's just a bitter pill to swallow, I feel. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and share. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.